There's a 6-knot speed limit along here. I don't think I've got that problem though. Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to another video. Hey, I'm down at the Maroochy River and I'm going to go for a paddle on my paddleboard, which is just there. I haven't got it set up. So I'm at a place called Dunethin Rock. There's a big volcanic mound which never made it to a volcano, a bit similar to Mount Ninderry, which is just up there in the background. They're volcanic action. They've pushed up through the old sandstone bed, and then the sandstone bed's been worn away and left these mounds like this one. There's another one at Mount Coolum, and there's a few down on the Glasshouse Mountains, although they're a bit more active. But today I'm going to go for a bit of a paddle up the river there. I've previously done another video, or a series of videos actually, called Drive the Maroochy, where we started right up at the source of the river and we've gone right down to the mouth of the river. So yeah, go back and have a look for those ones, called Drive the Maroochy. So I'm going to paddle the Maroochy today, not all of it, but just a little bit of it anyway, so come with us. That's it, we're up to pressure and we're ready to go. Right, here we go. I'm joined along the way by a few friends. So there's a good view of Mount Ninderry. A couple of houses built high up on the mountain there. You can actually climb that mountain. It's you can actually drive up half of it to about the height of those houses, and then there's a nice walk from there on. We've actually done that in a video too, so you might want to go back and have a look at that one. Now we'll continue paddling. There's all sorts of interesting things along the river here. Again, there's Mount Ninderry again. No water skiing along this section. Thank heavens, I'd be run over probably. The Sunshine Coast used to be full of sugarcane farms all along the river. One of the real estates told me one time that there was an old fellow who used to have cane farms, and he had the worst cane farms. They were on the sort of hilly sort of areas, not right down close to the river, but places that now have big views. So yeah, he's finally laughing all the way to the bank. So along the bank here are sections of the old sandstone. You can actually see layers of gravel that have been set down in the old sandstone many eons ago, I take it. But yeah, I can see the rounded edges of some of these stones where they've just been eroded over millions of years as they've been washed downstream from up in the mountains. Here's some of that remnant cane I was talking about up in that field up behind me there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing too well. So I've paddled probably a couple of kilometres upstream into the current, and that's going to make getting back a heck of a lot easier. Hopefully the wind's behind me all the way too. I'm pretty sure that this is a place called The Rocks, and it's a wedding venue. There's lovely views out onto the the river. We just get a glimpse of Mount Coolum there. You can see the plane taking off from the Maroochy Airport, which is right next to that mountain. That's a big bunya pine. They do grow in the area. I was told that the indigenous actually planted those many years ago. They have a different farming style. So rather than cropping all the same crop in the same area, they would actually plant their food trees along the path that they're travelling, so that they've got stops to eat on the way. They don't have macas, of course, not back in thousands of years ago, but they planted trees thousands of years ago so that they had food to eat along the way. Now, that's pretty clever. The bunya pine produces a big bunya nut. It's about the size of a soccer ball nearly, and yeah, they reckon there's nothing worse than getting pounded into the ground by a bunya nut falling out of the tree. So yeah, don't ever camp below one of those. So the climb up Mount Ninderry there takes about an hour or so. You drive up to the other side of that mountain. No, you don't climb up the cliffside. You drive up the other side, and then there's a nice walking trail goes all the way up. There's a trail across as well, so you can get views over the little town of Yandina, or you can see Noosa, and you can even see Caloundra from those areas as well. So they've got big viewing platforms up there. Really nice place to go and visit, and it's well worth the walk. Back close to where I took off from, there's actually a boat ramp here. There's a little public jetty down a bit further. And there's actually a toilet block here too, which can be handy. Back to the car. So that's it, I'm back at the car. That was an awesome morning's paddle from Dunethin Rock up to near where the two sections of the river join, but I might do that another day. But I'm going to do that from another section of the river closer to home. But now it's time for a coffee. Well, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lovely trip up the river there, and I certainly enjoyed it anyway. So remember to do the whole like and subscribe thing, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Rose is going to go and drive through Nolan's. Bananas!